So that's what I was telling you, Sage. Eid, E-I-D.
Got it. Got it.
All right. So, Pablo, why don't you give us everything on Godot? Pablo Volcron, go for it.
I think that's Volcron.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, this week for the updates, we got a request to kind of describe a week in the life of a Godot team member. What is it like to be on this project? Why is it fun? We could go into some of the change logs or stuff, but as you all know, the thing we're focusing on is making it fun, more fun, of course, pulling in the competitions, fixing any last minute bugs, doing tremendous amounts of testing, stuff like that. Would anybody be interested in hearing kind of the high level week of development? What's it like?
Me.
Okay.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too.
All right. Well, I'll keep it really short. I've been doing this a long time, and this is, I think, one of the most well-oiled machines I've been part of here. It wasn't easy, right? But I am really proud of where we are, and it's actually really fun. So anyway, that's my perspective. So Monday morning, typically, of course, we're answering messages and stuff over the weekend, and sometimes people get really excited. There was one weekend when I was working on some different back-end DevOps stuff that I just put in some extra time. Every now and then, it's a good mix between, being really passionate about what you're doing and meeting your goals and all that, and then also still having a life so you can recharge and all that. So coming in Monday morning, most of us are pretty fresh. We're all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, but even then, you're going to forget things, right? So what I like to do is start off Monday with merge requests. And the reason that matters is, well, maybe you haven't had your coffee yet or whatever, you don't quite want to write code, and somebody else is waiting on you to approve the code that they've written. Now, a merge request is when, let's say you make a change to some source code and you're like, hey, this fixes XYZ, or here's a new feature or whatever. That doesn't just go in, right? I mean, we're all part of a team and nobody's perfect. We all, as a courtesy and as a safeguard, and for communication, we put that up for review. And then different topical experts, subject matter experts jump in and they'll be like, oh, this is interesting. You did it this way. I was expecting you to do it that way. Or, oops, you made a thing here. Once it gets through all that, um, then it gets merged in. And then it gets closed out and the ticket gets moved over and it's like, hey, it's ready for QA now. And you would think, oh, okay, QA is probably going to immediately start looking at that, right? Well, they have their own schedule. And what's going to happen is that work that you just made, whether it's a bug fix or documentation change, whatever, that work is queued up, and QA isn't actually going to see it until it's part of a large batch of everybody else's changes. If you've ever worked with Git or Perforce or any of the other source control things, you have a kind of a common grounds, or what you would call in Git, you would call it a branch, and a lot of people will call it dev or development or whatever, but this is where everybody's work comes together. So maybe one person's working on network fixes and it happens to touch, a manager that is also used, for synchronizing, for sending town state back to the server. If they're merge requests, and this Monday morning you're still waking up, if they're touching the same code, there'll be conflict. So it's not just like a checklist thing, it actually enhances communication and all that. And depending on the kind of company you're at and the atmosphere and all that, those can be some pretty tense moments, right? Like sometimes you'll put your code in, you'll put it up for review and put your heart and soul into it. It's like a high school poem you wrote or something, and then somebody's like, "Oh, this stinks," and you're like, "Oh, they're calling my baby ugly." Not really. We're just trying to make sure that everything is logical and safe and quality, and our process here is really good for that. So that's kind of Monday morning. That's to me, that's one of the most interesting things is where people are talking and getting stuff together. We do our stand up. Different people say different things. Usually it's like the status of what they're working on. Mondays are a little different because, we plan out the whole week. We're like, okay, all you people that are, working on art or QA, what are your plans or testing or dev? All all this kind of comes together Monday morning. We're like, okay, is everybody loaded out for the week? You got your plans? Are you over committed? Are you under committed? And then off and running. It's pretty much heads down coding. After that, same thing, merge requests. We're working with like Musashi on game design issues. And then at the end of the week, finally it rolls around Thursday. We're summarizing what we do for the AMA and kind of getting our notes together and everything. Friday morning, here we are. I could go into more detail, but that's pretty much it. Focus on the merge requests and the communication it brings.
Wow, that was some nerdy stuff, I should say. I really got my nerd on.
Thanks.
No, seriously. So I've been doing some bit of coding myself, and so yeah, I can relate to that. I'm not sure how many out there on Discord can, but like, whoa, nerd alert, right? Cool. Anything else we have on TSG? I know that we're really looking forward to having an open playtest very soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think last week's update still stands. We're heavily focused on competitions. It's a super important part of the game. Not just the back end, but like the UI and what's it feel like and how do we communicate that? Live data updates, for example, if you want to last minute change a meta, things like that. So all these tools and processes are coming together, getting tested. It's a good feeling. It's nice to see all this work. That's my update.
So I got a question, Volcron, real quick. Let me jump in. So we're talking about May 1st, and maybe this is you and Musashi talking about it together. We're talking about May 1st, everybody. We're talking about doing competitions. Are we really ready? Is this really going to happen?
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean,
So we're still aiming for that. Volker, you want to say something?
yeah, well, we want everybody to have an awesome experience. Our confidence level has to be as close to 100% as we can get. It's looking good.
Cool. So one of the things I'll just share, and sort of a setup question. I've seen this team go through a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, pulling out all the stops, trying to put this together. Had some ideas and plannings, and stuff came up and got in the way, and we wanted to spend the time fixing it rather than just yeeting out a bunch of crap. The code is really complex. They built the system rock solid. It's not going to be perfect, but as I'm watching and playing the build each day, and you guys get to see it too because SK releases them, every day almost, right? So you can see what's coming. And yes, the code looks really, really solid. I'm very excited. It's a big step for us to get this version up and going. Big commitment for the team, and yeah, like I said, everybody's working hard on it.
Yeah, I'm actually excited quite a bit on not having any of this to and fro on the dynamic cheater removals, nuking, and all of that. So fingers crossed. All right, are there some questions there yet? A lot of questions on compensation. So just let me go over that real quick. So I think we had an issue with the dynamic cheater detection, and one of the first runs, which was around 23 hours GMT on April 18th, went off with a bug, and so there were a bunch of people who were wrongly nuked, and so they had those compensations given. We just figured out today there was still one player who actually didn't receive that, so we're processing that one. But beyond that, all of the other ones were with the fixed code. So yeah, that's about it for the compensations. Is this a good time to talk about May Mayhem?
Yeah, let's jump right into it.
All right, great. So I had some really good info from earlier today. and I'm quite excited, even though I play only for a few hours, right? So first thing, just going back to what we spoke about last week, we were speaking about folks having rewards from 4 competitions in May, every week having its own competition with, of course, the new reward structure and all of that. Then we said a bunch of other things where we didn't have details. We have some more details now, right? So we've got a bunch of milestone rewards, right? And then we have these loyalty rewards for people who were with us in the previous May Mayhem, 2022, and then the one before that, 2021, to really kind of reward that loyalty, being with us for this long. And then we also have a referral program. Right? So Nishant Kesera is here. Let's get into maybe the milestone rewards.
Yeah, of course. Let's start with milestone rewards. So starting May 1st, everyone will be able to win a certain reward just for finishing certain milestone. Overall, we are giving out over 12 million in Gala for these milestones. Like, let me repeat that, over 12 million in Gala just for finishing certain milestone. And it doesn't matter how long you've been playing the game, you stand to win just as much as the next person. Now let's get into the milestone.
Wait. Did you say 12 million?
Yes, 12 million in Gala.
That's huge. Okay, I'll hold on. You go ahead.
So starting with the milestone, the first milestone is extremely simple. You just have to finish 10 trades. Second milestone, finish 50 trades. The remaining 4 milestones are about competitions. First one is easy. Just rank among top 1200 in any of the competitions and you get 100 Gala. And these milestones progressively become harder. For every single milestone you finish, you will get 100 Gala. But here's the where it becomes more interesting. For every milestone you have finished, the next milestone will give you twice the rewards. So finishing the second milestone after the first one will give you twice the rewards, that is 200 Gala. Then finishing the third one will give you 4 times the rewards, that is 400 Gala. So all the way, when you finish the 6th milestone after finishing the first 5, you will get 3200 Gala. So for anyone who finishes all the milestone, you stand to make a total of 6300 in Gala. That's 6300. I think I forgot to.
Holding
Yes.
out to my breath there. Can you talk about the milestones again? Like, what are these?
Yes. Sorry, I think I skipped a bit over there. The first milestone is super simple. All you have to do is do 10 trades in the game. The second one is finish 50 trades. The third one, and from third onwards, all the milestones are about competitions. The third milestone is that you have to get better than 1200 ranking in any of the competitions. And all the way until the last milestone, the 6th milestone, for that you have to rank better than 1200 in 10 competitions, and among the top 800 in any of the 4 competitions, and among the top 500 in just 1 competition. And you have a window of 3 months to accomplish this. So starting 1st May until the end of July, you'll have the opportunity to finish these milestones.
Wow. I knew some of this framework. Like, I know we were discussing this, but just when you put those numbers, yeah, I think it's. Are you sure? Are you sure there's no extra zero there?
I don't think so. I will check again for sure. Yes. Let me just drop the rewards in Discord as well so that people can have a look.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought of. Like, I jumped to my calculator immediately and go, wait. Did we get that right? Gave me a mini heart attack there. Yeah, it's right. It's right. Pretty exciting, guys.
Got it. Wow. Okay. I'm just seeing things explode on Discord as well. So I was just making sure that 12 million Gala is not actually something totally off, right? But yeah, looks like we've done our math. Okay, but that's just the milestone rewards, right? And let's get on to the other two. So we do have a referral program, and now just some context to this for everyone, right? We've been talking about how we need more people in the game, we need more people to play, and all of that. And now we know with TSG, we have much better performance. It's just feeling a lot more snappy on the game board and all of that. So we really want to reward those who can, and have brought in other players, taught them how to play, and all of that. Maybe Nishant, you could just talk about what the referral program is in terms of rewards, and then we can go a little deeper.
Yes, of course. We'll come to the logistics later on. Let me talk about the rewards. For anyone you refer to the game, you get 25% of their milestone rewards. So if they finish one milestone, you get 25% of 100 Gala that they receive. That is, you will get 25 Gala. If they finish all the way up to the sixth milestone, they will get 6,300 Gala, and you will get 1,500 Gala. And that is for every referral you make. So if you refer 10 people, you could stand to make 15,000 Gala. So you might want to nudge your friend once in a while. Hey, have you reached that milestone yet? Now going back to X Diablo.
Wow. No, I'm still like, it's just continuously coming. Right?
Yes.
So just to understand this better, does this work for people whom I've already referred, people whom I'm going to refer? Like, how does this work?
I think we still haven't decided all the logistics yet, but we'll get back to everyone on those details very soon.
Got it. No, that's cool. But I'm guessing we would still be using the Gala referral, as in people will get marked as being referred based on whatever system Gala accounts already have. But yeah, it will be really good to get more details on when to refer these folks. Does it last only in May, or is it forever, etc.? Did we miss anything? Is there's oh yeah, there's still the loyalty rewards.
Loyalty rewards.
Okay, go for that.
Yes, let's talk about the loyalty rewards now. For anyone who has been supporting us since last May Mayhem, or even better, since the last two May Mayhems, we want you to know how much we appreciate your continued support. We wouldn't be here without you guys. So especially for you guys, your competition rewards will come with a bonus. So if you participated in the last May Mayhem, you will get 1.25 times the competition rewards. That's 25% more than what you'll already be getting. And if you've been around for the last two May Mayhems, you will get 60% more. That is, you will get 1.6 times the competition reward that you will be getting. Like, I hope that goes to show our appreciations to our most loyal players.
Wait, so just 1.66. Sorry, I'm just doing the math in my head, and I'm already lost. Right? I'm sure I'm going to be playing around with my Excel and Google Sheets tonight to really figure out what that is. So you're sure that all of this adds up to the 12 million Gala, or was it just one of them?
It was actually just the one of them. Like, add more to it,
My.
it will keep going up.
Oh my. Wow. Okay. I'm seeing some messages on Discord. Yeah, it's super hard for me to keep track of that when I'm also observing this information from you. Right. When Golden Goose? That's interesting. Anyone have an idea on that?
That's a
I don't
question
think
for
we have any
Misaki,
leaks.
right?
Yeah, I don't think there's any leaks about the golden goose yet.
No, so we're focused on the competitions and getting the game out to you guys. The Golden Goose is my baby, so I want it out too. Soon. It's gonna be soon.
Here's the real question: when's the speed waffle coming?
Oh, real question.
I know I
don't-
stumped you guys. That wasn't practice. We'll keep an eye on it, everybody.
Right. Oh, I see. Okay, dubstep, like you just asked, I wonder how many people actually participated in both Mayhems. Good question. I wasn't around for either of the earlier Mayhems, so I'm gonna go check it out, but I'm pretty sure it was north of 10,000 for at least the previous May Mayhem. I have no idea about the 2021 one. Love the royalty rewards. Trade bot info. Anyone have any ideas on the trade bot info?
No, we're still waiting on a trade bot until we get the Godot version up and running perfectly so that we can see like what we could do with it. There's no point in brainstorming and listing all of our fun ideas too far in advance until we know exactly what can and can't be done. But as soon as we get that information, we'll definitely let you guys know.
All right, so that was just like a simple way of saying no leaks there yet. Talking about leaks, do we have any cool art leaks? Sage, do you have
Oh
something
yeah,
for
sorry.
us?
I was just so Jetty, you say wait, loyalty throughout the year encourages people to come back and not play till next year. Look, we're focusing on one thing right now, Mayhem, and when you look at the list of competitions and the rewards and the multiplier, you see that that goes beyond May, right? And while I queue up the art, I'll let Ex Diablo talk about that a bit more.
Yeah, so I think at least with the milestone rewards, those milestones, Nishant, feel free to jump in, but what I know is this is not just for people who come in May, right? However, to get to these milestones, I think one of that which I shared was like 12 competitions, and that ends in June. So yeah, probably people who can make the most are the people who would come early in May. But it's still valid for everyone, right? Irrespective of whether they're new players, players who've been playing for a year, and so on. So the loyalty rewards is just a way for us to say, okay, May Mayhems are something important for us. And so people who participated previously, we really like that, right? And we really want to reward being around for May Mayhem.
Yes, yeah, you're right about the milestone rewards. It applies to everyone. You can start playing anytime you want. Although, if you want the best chance of achieving all the 6 milestones, you should probably start in the first week of May to have a leg up on everybody else.
Having a leg up on everyone else. That's a phrase. All right. I see, Sage, you've shared wheat storage solar panel. Wow, they actually look quite different, the original and the updated versions.
There you go. Got all the stuff posted. Yeah, so you could see Gina's been working with our combo things. We pulled on an external art house now that we're working with to help speed things up. And a lot of work's going on in the storage this week. And you could see some of her notes there in some of the cases. A little bit of scribbles here, V1, V2. That's where she's trying out different things, trying to make it look good in the new version, right? And then the last image that I posted there, that's our, that's just sort of like a test setup where you can visualize everything all together. You can see stuff that's not done, stuff that's kind of ugly or broken still. But yeah, that's the process. And as we start getting all these final pieces of art, these are concept sketches Gene's working on. We've got an external team that's actually cranking through real models that we'll be able to start testing in game. And then when the time is right, yeah, we'll go ahead and start rolling them out to folks. But that will be after we get through, likely after we get through May, because we just want to be very careful about adding too many changes all at once and everything. And we'll make sure we get the May Mayhem work done as well as we can.
Yeah, I'm definitely waiting for that. So I'm seeing a few questions. What will be the reward structure for 4 competitions in May, Parmin? So I think the reward structures for the competitions remain the same as it is for this competition, with, of course, the added benefits of, the loyalty rewards, the 25% more for those who were around for the previous May Mayhem, and 60% more for those who were there for the 2 May Mayhems prior. Sorry, the one before that as well. Another question that I see, Dubstep, looks like this confirms weekly comps need to top 1,200 in 10 competitions. Yes, that's true. So yeah, that looked like, went in sneakily. So we're going to have weekly competitions going forward, at least till these 12 weeks. Nishant, I'm right?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Awesome. Yeah, more competitions, more rewards. So there's also more rewards just coming from competitions every week, right? I think that itself is like a whatever NX multiplier, and on top of that, all of these other things, right? What else? What else? This AMA got really juicy. Questions people have: when open pack art NFT? Why did I get nuked? Yeah, well, I can say something about the second question. So we've been talking about it for a few AMAs now. It's still the same. We've been saying, if you're using tools or scripts and things like that, which help you get an edge, or which you're using to cheat, then the system can't really, track what actions you're taking, and so beyond a point, it doesn't allow that, and it automatically nukes your town. We know that there've been some folks who are really not aware of what exactly what we mean by tools, what we mean by scripts. I think we've given some explanations. Some of these, ad blockers could sometimes block some of the tracking that we do, and without that, it's impossible to know what actions players have taken and all of that. But having said that, that goes away for TSG. So I'm really looking forward to that first competition in TSG, where we really don't have to do some of this, and yeah, that should be cool. What is the open pack art NFT? Anyone
Yeah, that's
had hand on that?
that's I think was coming out before you actually started joining us, which is one of Odd Gent's really beautiful art. Wanted to actually release that as an NFT for people. We don't have an update on that, guys. It's in the proverbial list of things we have to do right as soon as we get Townstar Godot out the door. So a lot of focus on that. One of Gent's actually doing some really cool work for Mayhem right now as well, which we'll be able to share soon. Not sell soon, share soon. Thanks.
Cool, thanks for that info. I didn't know about that. So I see some more questions. When will you start counting the referrals? Like, is there like a day saying after this day? So Nishant or Kesara Sera will share that information when we finalize that. But I think it's knowing that we're going to use the Gala referral system. It's probably going to be, folks referred at any point in history. But I'll let us work out the logistics and come back. I don't want to say something which we take back. Any other questions? Nishant, Sage, Volcron, do you see anything that we should talk about?
I still have one Q&A question that was submitted from the forum that we haven't answered yet.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the Q&A. I know what that question is.
The question says, I see a lot of direction changing in Townstar, which tells me that there is not a long-term strategy, or at least one that is being adhered to. What does the Townstar gameplay look like in 1 to 2 years?
Yeah, so who shared that? Somebody seems to like to be provocative and then ask for people to push back on the negative. So no, there is a plan. There is a long-term plan. There's a long-term strategy. We've actually been talking about it literally for what, 9 months? It's just taken us a while to get there. We've talked about first off getting Townstar Godot, the new engine, the new tech and everything in place so that we can get off of a client authoritative project, which is Townstar Live, and also get off Play Canvas so that we can actually have an environment where we can accelerate our work through new features. I think Volcron's been talking about for months about how he's excited that this engine is really easy and fast. This code base is easy and fast to go from idea to actually in-game code, and we hope to show that soon. We've also talked on, and I'll let Musashi jump in here a little bit about the new gameplay features that we're going to be adding. Not just Townstar Forever mode with persistent towns and, this massive upgrade to a 64 by 64 using the old terms about grid sizes, but some of the cool things we're going to do to upgrade the NFTs as we play and evolve the gameplay. Right. So, if you want to know what the game is going to look like in 2 years, show up in 2 years because we will move through a series of stages. We're not going to talk about them all right now, but there's a series of stages that we're going to be moving through because we know how to do this. A bunch of us have done this, run live games for decades. And so we know how that works. That's not a boast. That's just to kind of share that we do have a plan. So, Mushashi, do you want to jump in and just give a quick couple of notes about, some of the things we've already talked about and shared in terms of the new gameplay that people can expect?
Sure thing. Yeah, I mean, it surprised me to see people think that we're changing direction. We have the same game design document since 6-7 months ago. So, yeah, as you said, like, it think a little longer to get some things sorted and get into a new code base, but we're getting ready for that. So immediate things we're looking at right after release is first and foremost, daily challenge and earnings. That's our first priority after competitions is released into Godot and you guys are moving to the new code base. So daily challenges and earnings. We have other features like time of day, extended fast forwarding. I saw some questions about improving the first time user experience. We have some tasks for that and some notions of how to do that because we want more people to come in and stay. I'm gonna say golden goose. I don't know if we'll get it out as soon as I want. We have social features like visiting other players' towns, improve referral systems. Although Diablo and Que Sera have announced, ad hoc referral systems right now, which are great for May, June, and July. We want to work on buffs. I know you guys have the research center, so we're reworking with the research center in Godot to have buffs in a slightly different manner. And those are like the immediate stuff after release. In the longer term, we want to work on improved competitions. So we want to be able to change things up in different ways, so you don't have the same type of competitions all the time. NFT and player progression is a big thing we want to do, and we still want to do because it's gonna add a lot of value to the game. And persistent town, that was one of the first things we said we wanted. That's still on the table. So persistent town, and of course much more. So we have a bunch of features, a big roadmap, and yeah, just working together.
Yeah, I remember one of the keynotes that you said there, Musashi, is a couple months ago, which was literally we have about 100 pages of design docs and designs to actually start implementing as soon as we get Godot out the door. So yeah, it's very exciting. So yeah, there's the long-term notes. There's for people who've been here for the last 9 months. Yeah, there's a lot of changes, a lot of new things that we just have been waiting to get this new code base up, stable, running, and out the door. And a lot of team puts some, not a lot of team, the whole team's been putting in a lot of hard work, both on Townstar Live, keeping that going for everybody to play, and then also getting Townstar Godot up and running. And so if anybody wants to take a look at Townstar Godot, of course, you can go and play it right now. If you're not already signed up for the test, you just send a note to Farmer Michelle. She'll add you. Yeah, and we're just opening it up more and more for everybody. So if anybody has other questions, go ahead. Discord. But hopefully that kind of gives you the big reminder and sort of a list about all the great stuff that's coming.
Yeah, that is. I'm waiting for persistent towns as well. I hate rebuilding every time. but I guess there's also some fun in the metas. But really looking forward to that someday, soon.
I see Dash asked a question about for May Mayhem, will we be announcing what the starter town is going to look like before each event opens so that people know what they're walking into, I guess? Does anyone know the answer to that?
Masashi, Walcron, any ideas?
Well, depends on your definition of visible. The UI will show you what the starter town super tiles, to north, south, east, and west are. Are we talking about sharing a screenshot of the starter town in Discord, or?
Yeah, I guess just so people can plan
Yeah.
a couple of days of downtime they have between events.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know that I haven't seen any plans on us sharing that info, and I don't want to speak for the game designers here, but that seems like a call somebody in design should make about whether or not we give people a leg up. There's that phrase again. So, what would you all think? Would that be fair? Like to share, if you want to compete, check Discord for screenshots of what the town will look like.
So this is what I'll say from my perspective as a live ops game designer for a long time. I want you guys to have as much information as possible before a competition. So we'll be reworking our communication of metas and what's coming out, so that you get as much information as we can provide beforehand. So it is possible.
Got it. I'd love to see use that. Haven't really been playing a lot on TSG, but now that I know post this competition, we're gonna have all the competitions on TSG. I'm going to be spending a lot of time on TSG, right? Cool. Is there anything else that you see, Michelle? Anything any of us want to talk about? I think
see
it's been
just about that sandbox mode. Do we I know we have the casual mode and the event mode. Is the casual mode at any point soon going to allow players to choose like their super tiles or their biomes so that they can prepare adequately, or is it all just going to be the same for the casual mode?
I haven't seen any requests for that particular one come onto our radar. It wouldn't be incredibly hard to do, but as far as I know, it's not on the plan.
Okay.
got it. I see this question coming again on reward structure for the mayhem. I guess what we'll do is whatever we spoke about, we'll probably put it in a nice format and share it as an announcement, right? So that way everyone has something that they can just refer to. By the way, all of this is just coming super hot, right? I know we've had some discussions through the week, but like, whoa, I was super excited to know these rewards today, right? Like 12 million Gala, really? Whoa, right? So anyway, I'm still going to go back after the AMA and just confirm that we've got all the numbers right. I'm pretty sure we have, but just to get myself in line. So there was this question about the ghost cards. I don't know if One Art Agent has some leaks there. Do we have anything? One second. Bring out the ghost. Yeah. We're waiting for the leak. We're waiting for the leak. Those much awaited ghost cards. While we have those ghost cards come in, any other questions? Is anything that you see? Oh, there it is. That's a leak. There's that ghost icon. How cool is that?
These new NFT cards are absolutely incredible. They're so cool. The way they like sit inside the card, super cool. One Odd Gent did a great job.
I love it. It's bigger on the inside. I love it.
Yeah, it's just some really cool stuff. I think a lot of people now visit our store just because it has this cool art that's being used in the store as well. I don't know. I think the jury is still out on that one, but I'd like to believe that's true. All right. So I think there's a lot of information. We'll compile that, share that across. Don't see any new questions coming in. So do we call that a wrap? Sage, Michelle, any last points?
I think we've got so much information that we're going to have to make sure we share it out for everybody to review again and grok and feel comfortable with. It's going to be a big month coming. Big month for a lot of fronts. So thanks everybody for joining us.
All right. Thank you, everyone. It's really great to continuously get feedback from everyone in the community, asking us questions, helping each other out. Awesome stuff. Thank you all for joining us today. I know it was a pretty packed AMA. I see we still have another 157 listeners around. Thanks everyone for attending. A really punchy AMA. We'll follow up with details.
Right. Thanks,
Bye, guys.
everybody. Really appreciate everybody in the community. I know, a lot of people have hard questions they're asking, and there's a lot of controversy going on. But we're working hard as a team. We really try to do our best to get you as much information as we can. And I also know that some people just never be satisfied. So we're gonna have to, just keep doing our best. Hopefully, eventually, you guys see a lot of folks with good hearts here on the team, really working hard for you. And thank you everybody for welcoming new players into the game. You guys helping, sharing your builds, showing how things work, pointing them to all the different resources. That's super, super helpful, and we really, really appreciate that. So thanks everybody for joining.
Thank you all.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you, guys.
Have an awesome weekend, everyone. Thanks, Dubstep, for joining. I know you had a few questions there. Thanks, Buddha, Citizen. Thank you all for joining.